All right, well, good afternoon. We're at sunnyhillsmeditation.com, and my name is Robert Lee, and we do just a nice gentle flow here. Everything's going to be easy to do in a chair. I'm sitting on the floor, but just make yourself comfortable in a chair. And just begin to take some breaths, not labored breaths, but maybe extend your breath a little bit, slow it down, and then bring your attention right to the brow point. You don't have to strain your eyes to look up there. Just bring your attention to that spot. And continue now just to lengthen the breath out just a little bit more before we tune in. And as you do, just begin to feel space created inside with the breath. Expansion, contraction. And then let's go ahead now and rub the hands together at the heart center. Create a little bit of heat there. And then with a little bit of pressure between the palms, bring the knuckles into the chest. Just seat the knuckles right in the sternum bone there. A little bit of pressure here to balance the sides of the brain. And now take a deep inhale. And exhale. And inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Now expel all the air out. Pull the abs up and in. And then inhale now to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Adgure Namah, Jugadgure Namah, Satgure Namah, Sri Gurudeve Namah. Adgure Namah, Jugadgure Namah, Satgure Namah, Sri Gurudeve Namah. Adgure Namah, Jugadgure Namah, Satgure Namah, Sri Gurudeve Namah. And now take a deep inhale. Push together with the palms, just maybe a little bit more. No need to push hard. Just increase the pressure a little bit. Feel the balance between the right and the left. And then exhale now. And go ahead and let your hands come down to your lap or to your knees. And let's see, we had somebody join us. Oh, that's just the recording. Okay. All right. So like I said, we can be in a chair today. I might as well get in a chair now. It looks like that's kind of the thing here. I don't see anybody on the floor. So the first thing here is just begin to align your spine nice and tall. Just attempt to stack everything up. The breath is really good to help you do this. Take deep inhales and continue to stretch out through the top of the head. Full exhales. Just become comfortable. Your feet should be flat on the floor now. And in a chair, they should be more or less 90 degrees between the thighs and the calves. So we'll start with just a little bit of pranayama to begin with here, just to get a series going. So we'll do a nadi cleansing, which we've done a few times here now. It's a really particularly good pranayama for summertime, for allergies, for general balance of the glandular system. So we're going to bring our right hand up, and we're going to block off the right nostril to begin with. And just think of forming like a little bit of a C like this with your hand, because we're going to be going side to side. So let's inhale left, pause at the top, count of 4, exhale right, pause at the bottom, count of 4. Now inhale right, pause at the top, exhale left. Now inhale left. And just make that intentional pause at the top of the breath. And then exhale right. And now go ahead and continue at your own pace now. Inhale right. And we'll be doing this 3 minutes. We're already a minute into it. This is just a really good way to bring everything online. We want to bring as much awareness to our own experience as we can in this class today. It's not about physical endurance or physical stamina. It's about just enough to settle into a really good, comfortable, restorative rest at the very end of class. So just continue now and bring your attention really to the sound of your breath and your mental focus to the brow point. And just think about the stimulation that's going on. You have the ida nerve in the left nostril, pingala in the right, and they spiral around each other as they go through the body. And then the main nerve channel, Sushmana, goes right through the middle of it. So what we're doing with this alternate back and forth breathing is first of all, we're concentrating on the breath, which is the most important thing of a lot of these. It makes you focus on the breath because of what we're doing. But also it begins to open up areas where the chakras are. The chakras are roughly associated with the little openings where the Sushmana and the ida and pingala, there's little openings where they're in the spirals as it goes down your body. All right, so go ahead now and drop the right hand down. Take a deep inhale now. And exhale. Once again, deep inhale. And exhale. And this time inhale 75%. Don't go all the way, 75%. And we're going to extend the breath here now for 15 seconds. This will set the prana from the previous work that we just did. And then go ahead now and exhale. And today, rather than begin at the top of the body, we're going to begin all the way at the bottom with the feet. So from a seated position, it depends on the chair you're in. You can sit sideways, you can sit you can sit the way you are. But what we want to do is just lean back into a gentle sunbather's pose. So you can lean back with your hands on the chair, just kind of like you're bathing in the sun. You can be looking up just a little bit. And we're going to begin to articulate the feet here as we do this. So let's begin to just push and pull, just like you're pushing the gas pedal, letting up on the gas, alternate side to side. And try to get a nice full extension. If you can bring your foot all the way to the floor from your heel, that's great. If you can't, that's all right too. Use a full flex and draw the toes back towards the body. And once again, bring really, really intense focus to the breath here. This isn't a tough physical deal. So just meditate on the breath here. And then go ahead now and let that motion go. Both feet are pointed up roughly towards the ceiling now. And now pull you don't have to do it with your hands. Maybe you can reach your toes, maybe not. I can reach them, but it'd be hard on this hard chair. So hinging from the hips, we want to start with a very tall stacked spine. Everything nice, tall, stacked up. And just imagine there's a hinge right through the middle of your hips here. And all the motion that we're going to do is going to come from right there in that hinge. We're not going to be rolling our head up and down with any of these. But the first thing that we're going to do now is let's sweep the arms up overhead. Deep inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, and then stretch up. Stretch up, wiggle your fingers, stretch a little bit more, and then on the exhale, just gently come folding over. And remember the hinge. You might not get many degrees sitting in a chair like this, but we're going to be inhaling up and exhaling down, and use a slight neck lock. You can pull the chin back in a little bit. We want to be more or less straight in the spine as we do this, and we'll do it for about 20 more seconds. We'll bring a little bit of energy into the lower part of our spine. And once again, let everything be a meditative posture. We're not going to physically strain ourselves. So use the opportunity to expand the aura around you. And now go ahead and inhale, sit up straight. Suspend the breath now and pull up on the root lock. Pull the abs up and in. Suspend the breath. And then exhale, go ahead and let that go now. And I'm trying to give the best visible angles that I can here. Sometimes working with the feet are a little. So we're going to go back all the way down to the feet now. And we're going to bring the right ankle up so it's just gently resting here on the left knee. And just for a moment, allow gravity, allow the knee just to sink in. Don't do anything with it. Just allow it just to sink in naturally with gravity. And then go ahead. You might want to grab onto your ankle. You might want to grab onto your thigh and shin. But what we're going to do here is we're going to begin some articulation of the foot and ankle. So with this particular articulation, we're going to be moving the ankle side to side. And you may have a lot of motion there. You might not have very much. This is an important articulation to keep as you get older. Just how people break their ankles is they don't have the articulation here to absorb a shock. So go ahead and do this a couple more times, side to side. And then pause at the very center. And let's take the toes now in a nice tight circle. It's easy to flop the toes around in knee lips. That's not what we want to do. Is we want to take the toes in a nice tight circle. And what that does is it activates both sides of the calf muscles and also the back of the calf muscles. And you'll feel the difference between just flopping it around in a knee lips and trying to draw a nice tight circle with your toes. And now go ahead and make an intentional pause. And then let's switch directions. Go ahead and take the foot around in the other direction now. You might find one direction moves easier than the other. It's something I just noticed for sure. And then go ahead now and pause and let that go. And take a deep inhale now. And on the exhale, just gently place that right foot back down on the floor. And pause now. And just notice what you notice. We're going to take a minute here to just come totally internal. Let everything stop. Normal breathing. And just become aware of just how much wonder is going on inside of your physical body. In that area that extends out about 18 inches around the body called the aura, electromagnetic field. It's called many different things. All right, so let's inhale deep now. And then on the exhale, we'll bring the left foot up onto the right knee, and it may feel very different here. My other knee has a lot more flexibility, but let's just go ahead and do the same thing. Let's articulate the foot side to side. This is a movement of your foot that you really would rarely do, but it's one that is very good stabilizing. This motion here is for stabilization. Stick with it now another 10 seconds or so, and just remember to keep the breath full. Allow the thoughts to come and go. Nothing important here. And then let that motion go now. And we'll take the toes once again in nice tight circles around. Nice tight circles as if you're really trying to draw a circle and not a floppy ellipse. And now change directions, please. Go in the other direction. And then inhale deep now. Let the motion go. Inhale deep. And then on the exhale, just gently set that foot back down. Then once again, now just pause out for a second here and just feel the energy, not only inside your body, but maybe surrounding your body, the immediate area around your body. And we'll begin to kick it up just a little bit here in a minute. So since we're all sitting in chairs, we're going to bring it up to the knees now and into the thighs. So we're going to just do some gentle stuff with the legs. We're going to hug the right knee. And if you can put the foot on the chair, that's fine. And if you can't, that's all right too. And if you have, like Vicky, if this is the side that's sore, just, you don't have to really reef up into it. But if your body allows, just give it a nice solid squeeze into the belly. Remember to continue to sit up straight, keep the breath full. Now take a deep breath, and then you don't have to squeeze the leg necessarily, but squeeze everything up and in from the abs, squeeze the arms, the back, and then exhale and go ahead and allow that foot to gently come back to the floor. And now we'll take a deep inhale and we'll bring the other leg up, and same thing here. Let's give it a good hug if you can. If your hip is sore, don't do that. Just sort of visualize what we're doing and come into your best posture here. Just give it a nice solid squeeze, sit up straight, slight neck lock. And take a deep inhale now. And then on the exhale, go ahead and set that foot back down on the floor. And just pause momentarily. We're going to come into a wider straddle seated position here next, but just pause for a moment. And now with our hands, we're going to bring our hands onto the thighs and you'll want to come to the front of the chair for this. Allow your legs to be straight or more or less straight as much as possible. Sit up straight and just allow your hands to slide down your legs. And this time we're going to allow the entire body to round. The head can round over. We're not hinging necessarily this time. We are hinging, but we're also rounding the entire spine. And just sink into this position and take long, deep breaths. Maybe you can reach your toes now, maybe you can't. I can reach all the way to my toes, which I couldn't when we started. Long, deep breathing here. Stretching out through the middle section. You can also put your hands on the floor here. And now deep inhale and just begin to gently walk your hands back up. Bring your head up very last. Go ahead and line the spine all up and then bring the head up into position. That'll help to keep from getting dizzy. And now with legs in a wide straddle once again, we're going to begin working through the center line. And you can do whatever you want with your arms. They can go side to side, way up overhead. They can just gently follow through the heart center. It's really your choice on this today, but we're just going to gently bow over to each side. Inhale in the up position. Exhale down and move slowly here. We'll have an opportunity to kick it up here a little bit in a minute. But this is an exercise here. Just let it be like a wave running through the room, side to side, coming in, going out. And then let this be the last one on each side. And then inhale to center now. And exhale. And go ahead now and bring your feet close, not real close together, but hip distance apart. And I'll demonstrate this from the side. And let's see, I guess my chair would be better this way. So you might want to work out of the side of your chair here now. So please interlace your fingers behind the back. Your arms are they're just dangling down. They're straight down. I'm not doing anything yet. I'll turn the other way here towards the mic. So now take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, just begin to once again fold forward. It's okay to completely round over on this one. And then bring the arms up wherever they come. I mean, maybe you want to leave your arms just resting on the back. That's fine. If that's the case, just stretch out through the arms long. If you want to bring your arms up for a little more challenge, this is a really good heart center opener. Yoga mudra. Just continue long, deep breathing now for 15 more seconds. Bring the attention back to the brow point, back to the breath. And just continue to untangle whatever thoughts might come up, whatever emotions, whatever concerns. Just feel the shoulders, feel the body right now. The other stuff will all take care of itself later. Now take a deep inhale. And on the exhale, just gently come up. Once again, bring your head up last. Just let the arms come down behind the back. You can bring your feet in a little bit more now. And you can either Leave your hands together momentarily, and this we'll just meditate here for a moment after Yoga Mudra, or you can allow them to come back gently down to the side, your choice. Just pause now and feel what you feel, especially in the chest, the shoulders, the heart. We're going to gently work our way up the body today. All right, so continuing now to loosen up the lower part of the spine, we'll do a simple spinal twist. We'll bring the hands up to the shoulders, and then we'll be inhaling to the left, exhaling to the right, inhale left, exhale right, and start out slow. First of all, start out trying to keep the form really nice. That's the advantage of seeing video. Is you get some feedback on whether your arms are parallel to the floor or not. Part of this exercise really is about activating the shoulder muscles that make that possible to keep our arms parallel to the floor. And we're going to be doing this in both directions today, so we have about another 30 seconds in this direction. And if you want to stop someplace, maybe you have a sticky spot on the left side, go ahead and pause into that and take a couple of deep breaths. Otherwise, just continue the motion back and forth. We have 10 more seconds. And then go ahead and pause at center. Inhale deep. And exhale, and we're going to begin working the other direction now. So let's inhale to the right as we twist to the right, exhale to the left. The head follows the body here. It doesn't keep turning. It stays in line with the spine. Inhale right, exhale left. And if your mind is beginning to wander off at this stage of the class, just begin to come back to simple mantras that work for you. The classic in Kundalini Yoga is Sat Nam, Sat on the inhale, Nam on the exhale. This is all done silently, synchronized with the breath. That way you have two things going at once for the mind to concentrate on. You have the breath and you have the mantra. Mantra just means mind wave. Mantra, mind wave. That's all we're trying to do here is just create different mind waves. So inhale straight now. Suspend the breath and really pull up on the root lock now. Everything up and in. Sip in a little more air. And then exhale and just gently bring your hands back to your lap or to your knees. Just go ahead now and pause for a moment, see what you feel, notice what you notice. Just stay with whatever it is, just stay with your own experience. So we're going to move it up just a little bit now. We're going to be working at the heart center. So we'll do some heart center exercises, and why don't we start this standing up? So we come up, just have your chair close by so you can grab it if you need to. If your balance is a little bit off like mine is, it's good to have something there. So find your best tree pose. Just stand up in your best Tadasana. Turn your hands forward. Palms are facing forward. Shift your weight from foot to foot just a little bit. And then come to rest at center. And just feel your best mountain pose. Feet are rooted into the ground. And let's begin here. This is a really good heart center opener. It's also a really excellent exercise for the rotator cuffs, and it's a few different parts of the series. I'll get up close here so you can see the upper body. All right, so we're going to be working with our hands are going to be in loose fists, not tight. Just lightly bring them together, and then let your hands come down to the sides. And the first movement here is your elbows are going to come back. You're going to squeeze together in the back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And the second motion is that you're going to come across the center, right at the heart center, cross the two arms, uncross the two arms, turn your arms, come back into the back space again. And this time they go up over the head as if you're throwing something over behind your back. And then it just simply begins again. Next time you can alternate whichever arm is up on the top here. And we'll be doing this for 2 full minutes. So go ahead and just fully move everything. Feel the opening at the heart center. Feel the shoulders. And you can do this quickly. You can do it slowly. You can do a mix of quick and slow. Just fully express the motion in your shoulders. They're really pretty amazing body parts, all the things they do, the directions they move. And then begin now to time the breath with the motion. You can inhale and exhale on each motion. That's up to you which way you want to go. Usually when the heart's open, you're inhaling, and when you're flexing or closing, that's the exhale. So however that works out for you. All right, we're over halfway there. So maybe you want to speed up, maybe you want to slow down. Maybe you just want to stop and stretch in that overhead position. Maybe you want to stop and stretch across the heart center. Or maybe you want to squeeze the shoulders together. It's fine to pause in any one of these postures. Otherwise, just continue the motion now for another 30 seconds. And now go ahead and inhale, squeeze the arms back in that starting position, and really squeeze the shoulder blades together. Deep inhale. Suspend the breath, continue squeezing. And then go ahead and exhale and let that go. And now we'll get the blood moving just a little bit here. This isn't a difficult exercise, but it is an aerobic exercise. This is an aerobic exercise, so we'll be moving slowly. I'll keep the camera down near my feet so you can see what's going on here. We're simply going to be doing a nice yogic jog here is all we're going to do. Is we're going to take a 30-second jog in each direction, all 4 directions, east, north, south, west. And with this one, you don't have to like really, run. All we want to do is just bring like a cross crawl motion, opposite arm, opposite leg, and just begin sort of a yogic march. I'm facing east right now, so just think of the 4 directions and take a nice yogic stroll. Tease the brain a little bit here. And now go ahead and turn. We're going counterclockwise here. So whatever that is, counterclockwise. I have to stay where the microphone's in front of me, but we're going counterclockwise into the second position now, whatever that direction might be for you. We're working the 4 directions of medicine wheel here. this is one where you can really express the breath. Now go ahead and turn again. Turn another 90 degrees and just continue to march. If it's possible, bring your hands all the way up over your head. You don't have to straighten your arms, but try to use full range of motions. We have one more direction to march in. And then go ahead now and rotate 90 degrees, whatever that direction is for you. From the starting position, I would be facing south, which is the way I'm facing now. So let's continue the march now for a few more seconds. And then go ahead now and pause. Come back into Tadasana, nice solid mountain pose. Allow your breathing to become normal again. And just take some deep breaths now until your breath is more or less at its normal rate. Everything's calmed back down. Let's just spend a moment. Find your best stability. Feel rooted. And now go ahead and just shake your legs out a little bit. Shake your arms out. We'll do a couple more standing postures before we come seated again. So let's come into a wide, we're going to come into a wide stance. We're not going to do anything extreme here with this wide stance. Just make sure that you're nice and stable. Your feet aren't going to slide out from your sides. Just come into that nice, mellow, kind of medium stretch here with the feet. Put your hands on your hip now, please, both hands. Deep inhale now. And then on the exhale, we're going to leave the hands on the hip. And once again, just envision hinging through the hips only. Head and neck stay straight. We want to come into a L shape, 90 degree, with the one exception that we want to allow our belly to drop. Maybe we have to force our belly to drop a little bit with our back. Just kind of get your belly pointed toward the ground. Face is directly looking at the floor. And now just begin some long, deep breathing. And even though there's very little stretch that you can get this way, by stretching out, by leveraging with your hands a little bit from your hips, pushing outward and attempting to lift out through the top of the head, you can actually create more space than you think in the spine. Just hold this posture now, long, deep breathing. And now go ahead and let your hands come all the way down to the floor. And we're going to just come on to the right knee. We're going to be on our right knee, and then we're also going to be, our left foot is going to be right here. And all we want to do here is just put one hand on each side of the foot. Let's see, make sure you can see in here. We're looking down at the foot now. We're not looking up unless you need to see what we're doing. So the foot is down between the hands, and just look at the big toe. You're basically on your right knee in a low lunge. Now just take the back and just begin to stretch it up and back as if you were in a cobra pose. Just allow your back to stretch. Arch forward, heads up in this. Open up the throat chakra. We'll continue some long, deep breaths here for another 10 seconds. Continue to bring the focus to the brow point. And now take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, let's just go ahead and switch positions. Now we'll come into a low lunge on the other side. So just bring your right foot up. So your right knee is going to be up. And you're going to bring your left leg out behind. You can stretch your leg out a long ways if you feel like it. I can get it almost all the way to the floor of my thigh, but that's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to bring deep awareness. So once again now, take a deep breath, and then as you exhale, just begin to curl up into that arch position. The head is up, neck is open. Now long, deep breathing. Concentrate at the brow point. And now take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead and come into complete tabletop, neutral tabletop position now. We'll be just sort of on our hands and knees here. We're not going to do anything extreme. So just momentarily come down with your hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Look straight down at the floor now. And then let's just go ahead and sink all the way back into child's pose, whatever that is for you. I'm not sure of physical conditioning, but just gently slide into a sitting on your heels. Extend your arms out in front. Maybe you can walk your fingers out and stretch even a little bit more. Just allow your forehead now to either come onto the floor, or you can use your hands. But just come into a fully relaxed, extended child's pose now for 30 seconds. Continue long, deep breathing. Keep striving for your own awareness. And now take a deep inhale, and let's come back up into a neutral tabletop posture. And as you're ready, go ahead and push yourself all the way up. And we'll come back into the chair here for a little bit of finishing work before we do our final relaxation for restoration. So just once again now, come into a nice seated chair position. Nice and comfortable. Once again, bring all your awareness to everything that's going on in your body. Now we've been from top to bottom. And just notice what you notice about that. And we'll begin here by doing neck rolls in each direction. But before we even begin rolling the neck, just allow the chin to come down to the chest. Allow it to rest in this posture. Open up the back of the neck here. We're not pushing. We're allowing gravity to do all the work here. Continue long, deep breathing. Keep coming back to a mantra, the sound of your own breath. And now let's inhale and take the head all the way up over the shoulders. And we're going to drop the head now into the back space. We're going to open up the throat chakra. And let this be your own expression of whatever it is. I don't know the condition of your neck, but just allow gravity to work with your neck. Allow your head to work, just fall backwards. Keep the chest lifted. Long, deep breathing now. Now go ahead and inhale, please, and bring your head up to neutral. And we'll start from that position right there. And we'll just begin now to gently work the head around in circles. Whatever direction you go is your choice. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. Whichever way you choose to start, we're going to do both directions. Move through this space really slowly, really gracefully. Neck doesn't like to be pushed around any more than I do, so just allow it to be nice and gentle. Keep the breath full. Inhale back. Exhale forward. And the next time you're at front and center, go ahead and pause there. Take an intentional pause. And then begin moving now in the other direction. And once again, keep the breath full. And now begin to make smaller and smaller circles and continue to lift up. We're making a spiral here. Make about 5 turns and then come to center and pause at center. Take a deep inhale. Pull up on the root lock, everything up and in. Pull up in the abs. Push everything up. And then exhale. And to finish up the moving part of our class, we'll do a nice classic Sufi grind. It's a really meditative thing to do. It'll be perfect before we do our layout. So once again, just come sitting up straight to begin with, everything up. And now just remember the camel right spine flex. The forward position is this. The backward position is this. But what we're doing here now is we're going to be moving all the way around the sit bones and stretching out slightly to the sides, slightly into the back, and just continue to move around in this circle. Work on that lower part of the spine now. And the next time you come forward, go ahead now and change directions. Inhale back, exhale forward. And then once again now, make smaller and smaller circles as you continue to go around. Take about 5 turns and keep stretching up, up, up until you come to rest at center. And then take a deep inhale. Suspend the breath, sip in a little bit more air, set the prana for the entire exercise series. And then exhale. And gently make your way onto your back, or if you prefer, you can continue to sit down. It's your choice. I'm going to get my Tibetan bowl. So now completely relax down. Just feel all the points where your body meets the earth, or if you're sitting, just feel the solidity of your sit bones. And as we begin to relax, what's really helpful now is nice deep sigh breath. So take a deep breath. And then just sigh it out. Just ah. We'll do this 3 times. Deep breath. Maybe today the sigh is just kind of quiet, or maybe it's a lion's roar, but take your last sigh breath here now. For now. And then let it go. And just continue now to follow the breath. You can change the sound of your own breath with your throat. Focus on your breath. And let each breath and each sound, each chime of the sound bowl, just guide you a little bit deeper. And continue to relax with the vibration. So just begin to re-inhabit your body now. Let your breath become a little bit longer. Stretch it out a little bit. And then begin to wiggle toes and fingers. Just bring some gentle motion to the small joints first. Gently wake up. And then please roll your wrists and ankles in both directions. And then while still lying on the floor, stretch your arms long overhead. Your hands are on the floor, your feet are on the floor, you're stretching long. And take several deep breaths here now as you stretch. Continue stretching, reach. And then go ahead and let that go. And bring your arms down to the side in a T shape. And then hug your right knee into the chest and take your right knee with your left hand and take it across the body in a cat stretch. Take several deep breaths on each side as you do a cat stretch. Just be gentle with yourself waking up. Breath is the foundation of everything we're doing here. And then as you're ready, rub the palms of the hands and the soles of the feet together briskly. Create a bunch of heat there, create some electrostatic energy. And then go ahead and rock yourself up, back up into the seated posture. And we'll close the way we began. We have nice heated palms. And just begin once again to reseat yourself. Everything's up straight. Just pause now for a moment and give yourself gratitude for caring enough about yourself to show up. It all starts with your own self-initiation. So let's bring the hands together at the heart center now. And we'll close with the sunshine song. And we'll sing it through twice with 3 long satnams at the end. So go ahead and take a deep inhale and exhale. And inhale now for the sunshine song. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. May you stay safe in your life. May we all avoid the virus that's going around and stay healthy in other respects. And may everybody everywhere awaken to the light and the potential of their own true nature. May they recognize that in themselves and others. Sat Nam.